Hey Josh, I got your truck up on the 4-post lift. I went ahead and did a quick alignment on it, and I got it about where I would want it at. With a 4-wheel drive truck and it being lifted, that changes the specs. Like, we can't really go off of the factory specs anymore since it's lifted and you've got oversized tires on it. So what I did was I went in the middle where I could. You want as much caster as you can get away with. I was shooting for 4 degrees caster, but I couldn't get 4 degrees on both sides. I could get 4 degrees on the driver's side, but I couldn't get no more than 3 degrees on the passenger side. So what I did is I backed off the driver's side. I got both of them set at 3 degrees. And then on camber, when you start getting these big tires, we really don't want any negative camber on an off-road vehicle like this on the highway, because you're going to chop this tire on the inside, and that's what you've already done. You've already chopping this tire. It's already scalloped. And so what I did is I gave you 0 degrees camber. That'll put this tire flat on the ground. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bump up the air pressure in these tires a little higher. I know that the maximum pressure is 80 psi, and obviously we're not running 80 psi in it, but I don't think we're going to get away with no 35, 36 pounds either, and that's where you're sitting at. It's like 35 pounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a white mark on here like this. I'm going to drive it down the road. I'm going to see how it does. I'm going to play around with the air pressures, get them where I want them. I'm shooting more for probably about 45 in the front and 40 in the back. I'm going to go about half of what that maximum is. We'll see how this wear pattern turns out, and then we'll know whether to go up or go down. One of the things that I wanted to show you is this lower ball joint here on this driver's side. This lower ball joint is definitely loose. Now, the one on the passenger side is okay, but the one on this driver's side is loose. I'm going to get my pry bar underneath here. I'm going to set the camera up, and if you'll watch this ball joint, we'll get it lifted up here. I don't know how visible that is in the video. Yeah, let's get a little closer to it. I know that ABS cable's in the way. You can kind of hear it clunking too. It's not bad, it's not excessive, but obviously that's going to have an effect on your camber setting. On the toe, I forgot to tell you, on the toe, I just set it at 0.05. That's 0.10 total, and that's a pretty good setting for a rear-wheel drive vehicle. We have to compensate for the road. The road's going to put a little pressure on the tires. It's going to pull the tires back just a little bit. So if we give it a little bit of positive toe, slightly, just 0.05, then by the time the road pulls it back, it's 0. The tires are perfectly straight ahead. Now, I've got it lifted up. What I'm going to do is, since you've already chopped these front tires, I'm going to rotate them front to back. And then that should give you some wear. The weights, I think the weights you're okay. The vibration I felt's in these tires. It's not in your U-joints. I looked at the U-joints. U-joints look good. Center support bearing looks good. There ain't nothing wrong with that. So I think just between the tires and the alignment, I think we're going to have that under control. You do have a misfire. I think it's cylinder 2. I can feel it jerk driving down the road. I'm going to look at that when I drive it home with the scanner and see exactly what cylinder it is. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.